Welcome to Ask Mom's podcast.
Welcome to Ask Mom's podcast. We are not professionals, but we can share experience and remind you that
You're awesome.
We are talking all things motherhood, the good, the tough, and everything in between. Now, if you feel you need medical support, please reach out to a professional. We're learning as we go, and we are so glad you're here today. We are diving into a topic that so many families are experiencing right now and honestly not always talking about. We're talking about when the kids move back home, flying back to the nest. First after school, and sometimes again later because, well, life is expensive. Groceries alone can send them running back to our fridge.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're talking about this, Kim, because the first thing I'd like to point out is it's not the old days when we finished school, got a job, moved out, etc. Okay? It's becoming more and more not feasible
Yeah, exactly.
to live,
No,
right?
it's
And
ridiculous.
it's no one's fault.
Absolutely
It's not the
not.
parents' fault. It's not the child's fault.
No.
It's just how it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So let's normalize this right away.
yeah.
Kids moving back home, it's not a failure on anybody's part.
No, absolutely not. Not even close. It's actually really common now. School, job markets, housing, it's a lot. And I've got some real stats from Statistics Canada just to prove that you're not alone.
Okay.
So 1 in 5 Canadians lives in a household with parents and adult children. That's 1 in 5.
Wow.
More than 1 in 3 young adults aged 20 to 34 live with their parents, and that number is rising. Nearly half of students aged 20 to 34 live at home while studying, if they're lucky and they didn't have to go away to school.
To school, yeah.
And the transition to independence is taking longer, with more young adults returning home temporarily for support.
And honestly, I look at it as a gift.
It is.
It is a gift.
Yeah.
More time together, more connection. But let's face it, communication's key, especially when people are getting older. They're not kids, right?
Yeah.
So we just have to be proactive and not reactive.
Yeah.
So kind of what I mean by that is, everybody understands each other. So there's no
Surprises.
hurt feelings
Yeah.
or people saying, oh, you're talking to me like I'm 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, exactly. And honestly, I look at it as a gift. More time together,
Yeah.
more connection.
Yeah.
Communication to me is key.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. And just have, proactive conversations.
Yes.
So that was kind of my thought.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that first move home. Like, if you don't mind, let's start there. Okay?
Yes.
First move home after college or university. It's a huge transition. They've had independence, so they're growing into their own life already.
Yeah.
Maybe they've lived with roommates, maybe on their own, but they've had to make their own schedules. They've had to, depend on themselves to keep things clean and fed and whatever.
Yeah.
So, they're different. Your kids are maturing.
Yeah.
So the old rules to me don't make sense anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
No, exactly. They've had that taste of independence.
Yeah, and you should really let them be different and let them grow and not try to stifle them, bring them back to where they were.
No,
Does that make
agreed.
sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like you just said, they're not kids anymore. They're young adults. They've had a taste of independence. Instead of having rules at the house, think of it more like agreements.
Right.
Many families are shifting from rules to mutual agreements, treating adult children like contributors rather than dependents. So you're all part of the same team. You're all roommates, kind of. These agreements should sound respectful and mutual. The experts say that the key to making this work is clear communication and shared expectations. So you set those agreements around whatever you need to do: finances, chores, privacy. And this helps avoid tension and builds the respect that is really needed to have a happy household.
Right. And things like, the proactive understandings, like what you're just talking about, that when you mentioned shared expectations, it made me think 100%. Because you can have expectations, I can have expectations, but we need to be on the same wavelength, right?
So talk about it first.
Yeah. So proactive understandings, and we respect you, you respect us.
Yeah.
And let them know you're glad to get the extra time with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're happy to have them there.
Make them feel like they're worth it.
Of
right?
course.
gentle, proactive conversation about who does what. Like you take care of your chores instead of me picking up after you. I mean, you don't even have to say that, but you know what I mean. So they take care of their chores and help with common area. So like helping with meals, cleaning shared spaces, and maybe giving a heads up if they're going to be out late. I know they might interpret that as, trying to be controlling, but we worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids listening. And I think I had this conversation with my son, actually, and he understands. It's like, it doesn't matter if I'm 80 and you're 60, I'm still going to worry about you.
Of course.
Right? So just let me know you're okay.
That's all.
I don't need to know what you're doing.
No, not too hard.
Unless you're robbing a bank. Don't do that.
Then, just don't. Agreed. So what I'm hearing is that it's not control, it's consideration.
Right.
Yeah.
They're adults.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to treat them that way. Responsibility, timelines, details, proactive communication. There it is again. Mm-hmm. So instead of thinking of them as chores, right? They're adults.
Exactly.
Treat them that way.
It's just what you need to work together to make this household work.
Right. So, so when I thought of chores, I think of you're telling them what to do, and then they might interpret it that way. Yeah. But you just address it as soon as they come home. Hey, I'm so glad you're home.
Yeah.
Let's think about how we're going to work this out.
Yeah. We'll set up an agreement.
Yeah. Set it up.
Yeah. How did you do when you lived on your own with roommates?
Yeah.
Did nobody do anything?
Yeah.
Or did y'all just kind of pitch in and come up with your own work schedules or routines?
Well, like we were talking about before, my son does all his own laundry now, and he's doing some cooking. Yeah. And cleans his own room. And I think I was at one time one of those moms, to be honest, that just kind of did a little too much. And I didn't even have to say anything. So this might be a good thing, too. Maybe you don't have to say anything. He's automatically doing it.
That would be on the bright side. The other way is they might just slip back into the old routine, right?
You're right.
It's like, I'm home, so mom's going to make all the meals, do all the laundry, clean the house.
Yeah. So be ready both ways.
Right.
And have that, back to that conversation, right?
Need that, yeah.
I believe best practices are predetermined responsibilities and shared activity. So again, I was looking at that chore, reference. I believe best practices are predetermined. Responsibilities and shared activity are understood up front. Mm-hmm. So allow your grown-up child to offer assistance without being told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like we were saying, here's the thing. If they're living at home, they're part of the household team. Everybody contributes. Yeah. That's just the way it is. Why should one person do everything? Not.
Yeah.
And it's not because they're kids, but because they live here too. So they had to look after the chores when they were living on their own, right? Mm-hmm. Or not. Mm-hmm. But either way, it's a team.
Yeah, 100%. And here's a big one too. Kick that habit that I had of doing everything for them. I can almost guarantee you that at some level they don't want you to. They want to be their own person. Yeah. They might not know what to do. So maybe that conversation is not just, here's what I'm going to do, here's what you're going to do. Maybe it's, and here's how to do it.
Exactly. It could be learning. Maybe they don't know how to do it.
Exactly. This is how we do it.
Yes.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is how I did it. Maybe you'll do it different, and maybe it'll be better.
Yeah. But at least he'll know how to do it without you saying, what do you mean you don't know how to do it?
Yeah, right? That's right. It's how you approach it.
Right.
Don't start off nasty.
No, we're never nasty.
No.
So let's get into it. The big question. Oh, this is a big one. And I have a strong opinion about this. Do you charge rent?
This one can divide families and does divide families. So there's no one right answer. Everybody does things differently, but there are helpful ways to think about it. Mm-hmm. What do you say there, Kim?
Mm-hmm. I think about the benefits of charging rent. So you teach financial responsibility. Mm-hmm. You're helping cover some of the household costs. Mm-hmm. And you're preparing them for real life.
Others don't charge rent, but they expect savings. So they expect their kids to be saving their money, or most of it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's a cool idea. You can live here rent-free, but save your money. Mm-hmm. And some secretly save the rent money if they are charging the kids and give it back to them later, maybe to help with a debt, help with first and last month's rent on someplace else.
So you know what? That's exactly what my parents did for me.
So did mine.
Did they?
Yeah, they saved all the money.
And then when I moved out, Actually, when they moved out, they gave me the money.
That was really nice.
Yeah. And what they looked at, so my rent payment,
Yeah.
this is how my parents did it. So they looked at what job I had and what I could afford. So they based it on that amount so I could still have a life. I could save.
Yeah.
So I still had to save even though I paid rent.
Yeah.
So I had to show them that I was saving. But other than that, my money was my own. So I had to learn how to manage it. Yeah. So the key also is intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ask, what lesson do you want to teach?
Yes.
And that's going to be depending on your child.
Yeah.
So if someone goes out and blows a whole bunch of money,
Yeah.
right? Are they really saving that money?
Right.
So maybe you charge the rent and you keep the money.
Yeah.
But you have someone that's super responsible and you want to, give them a break and you say, hey, you're saving, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So whatever your rent you're going to give me, you can put that in your savings
Yeah.
account. It depends on the child.
Absolutely. I don't know what I would have done.
When they pull up with a new motorcycle,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't the right choice.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that second wave when they move back again because of financial reasons. So the adult kids move back home due to finances. This can be feeling really different for both sides, and they might even feel really discouraged or embarrassed.
Yeah. So if you're a student or a young person that has to move back, do not feel embarrassed.
Absolutely not.
This is not within your control.
No.
There's so much craziness in this world right now. The good news is it won't last forever, but
It's
in the
temporary.
meantime, have fun. Don't stress.
No, totally.
Enjoy your parents as adult to adult.
Yes. And the parents, start with support, no judging.
Yes.
Imagine how you'd feel in their shoes. And maybe we're in their shoes. Remember how that felt.
Yeah. And when they do move back, this is maybe where structure really matters, especially if you have different personalities or, I don't know. Yeah, structure to me is really important. So proactive planning. So a timeline or a plan. How long am I going to need to be home? So if that's indefinite, then you set some financial goals and understand, again, we'll go back to those household expectations.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, if you're 25, I don't have the energy to chase you. I don't want to chase you. I just want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
So you do what you need to do. I'll do what I need to do. And whatever we share the load.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Absolutely. And we don't want to have to be arguing.
What a waste of energy.
Right? Totally. Yeah. And it's not about moving backwards. It's about regrouping.
Yeah. Okay, so we touched that a bit. So let's talk about respect then. Because this is really the foundation of everything. The parent to child respect and the child to the parent mutual respect, right?
Yes. Well, I was thinking about a story that when I was working full-time and I was living at home, my parents were saving the money that they charged me for rent. And at work, we had this stock option program that you could sign up to buy stocks.
Okay.
Well, I had no idea what that meant or what was involved. So I just did what the lady beside me did. I just saw her form, and I did what she did. Okay, well, she was making way, way more than I was making. And when I actually found out my pay ended up, I had zero money. So my entire pay was gone to pay for these stocks.
Oh, no.
So I was like,
so
wow.
What did you do?
Well, I told my mom and dad, and I was really embarrassed. I said, look, this is what I did. I had no idea, and I have learned a lesson. And they said, yep, okay, we hear you. So
was that a one-off thing?
A
or
one-off,
you signed up?
yes. Oh, no, but it was 6 months. So I had 6 months with no money coming in, because my entire paycheck went to buy these stocks. But my mom and dad were really understanding, and they helped me, and they just said, don't worry about it. We've got you.
Yeah, because
So,
you're just...
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was all to do something positive.
Exactly.
You just didn't know.
No, and we all learned.
Cool. I like that.
And one little thing we didn't talk about is respect and boundaries, right? Like the foundation of everything. So simple things matter. Knocking before entering rooms. It's all about the privacy, right? Respecting schedules and communicating plans. Like you said, just let us know. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just so we're not waiting up. We're not worrying. We're not wondering. We're not holding dinner. If we've made dinner, just let us know. Just communicate. And vice versa.
Yeah. And what you'll hear a lot is, yeah, but I was living away from home for 2 years and you never knew where I was. Yeah, but I knew you were in that area and you were out with friends and I didn't know when you were home and you weren't home.
Right.
And now I do. So if I'm expecting the car to come in the driveway, but I don't know when, and it's 4 a.m. and you're sleeping over and I don't know,
Right.
like all you have to do is just
That's right.
tell people where you are.
Yeah. It's not that
Or
difficult.
not even where you are. Just when are you going to come home?
Right.
Like,
Yes. Yeah. And do you have the key, or do I have to wait up till 4 a.m, or are you
Exactly.
going to, be banging on the door?
Yeah. So it's not always about trying to control you.
Right.
It's just we're parents and we care and we love you.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like freaked out if we think you should be home and you're not.
Yeah. And it's consideration, basically.
Yeah.
And respecting that, too. This is still your home. All this means is because you're a family sharing spaces, this means balance, independence with consideration, and as we said, treat them like adults because guess what? They are adults.
They are, yes.
And talk with them, not at them, and respect does go both ways, and it sets the tone for everything. So here's a story I heard from a friend that I've got to share here. It's funny, but it's also a really good example of communication in action. Their adult son had moved back home, and one morning she walked into the kitchen, and it was completely taken over. Every available space. Counters buried under protein powder tubs, pre-workout containers, and a ton of shaker bottles. So she just kind of said, "Hey, what is all this?" And her son said, "Well, it's my gains station." So she actually laughed and didn't freak out and said, "Okay, gains are great, but this is a people-friendly kitchen, not a protein warehouse." And what I really liked about that story is instead of turning it into a big battle, they all communicated clearly. She voiced her boundaries, he explained his needs, and they came to a compromise. So it's like a perfect little example of respect going both ways. Parents respecting adult kids' autonomy and adult kids respecting the household. Plus, it was funny. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of threw that in there. Now back to you, Kim.
I think the best way to look at this is say things to them when they're alone, not in front of people.
Definitely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially things you wouldn't want people to say to you
it's
in front of
embarrassing.
others. So that's where we have to kind of realize they're not children anymore, that they're adults, and things you say impact them.
Exactly.
So, and leave chirping off the table, too.
No chirping.
Coming back together offers so much good stuff, so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like more family dinners, right?
Yeah, that's so nice. More conversations. Regular check-ins go a long way, too. Nothing formal, just, hey, how is this working for you?
That's a good idea.
I know. I would have liked somebody asking me that.
More chances to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
So focus on the positives. Mm-hmm. More time together, more connection, and it's all at a different level, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So your grown-up kids are smart.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to learn from them, too.
Yes.
Right? They're out there.
Exactly. Respect
on the
them.
internet. Out there.
They bring a lot to the table.
Yep.
Agreed. And honestly, getting to know your kids as adults is kind of amazing, having that opportunity. You see who they've become, and it's pretty special.
Good point. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, for instance, my son's home, and we love it.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's moving out soon. Like, you know that.
Yeah.
But it's been great.
Yeah.
And he's changed. He's grown.
Yeah.
So some of the things we're talking about, like having those conversations, some we did, but some we didn't even really have to because he has grown up, right? So that's kind of cool.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And because sometimes we mean well, we accidentally make things worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are things what not to do. Number 1, don't treat them like they're 12 again.
God. Yeah, please don't.
No.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And it probably won't go well either.
No.
Right?
No.
So another stage to be able to enjoy them at. That's how I'm looking at it. They're adults now.
Exactly. And number 2, don't avoid the conversation. This is a big one because if you don't talk about expectations right at the beginning, you're going to feel frustrated and then they'll feel confused too.
Yeah. And they're going to say, hey, we never talked about that.
Yeah.
Or you will say that.
Yeah, because you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we have to remember, too, that we're not always right.
Oh, that's true.
It's hard to believe.
Well, yeah.
And good news, you can let them be independent. So my son, I was telling you just earlier, my son wants to do his own laundry. He gets his own food, some of it. And I can now see him moving forward.
You see progress.
There's a time, in every parent, they're like, oh, my God, what's going to happen to them?
Yeah. They don't even know how to do their laundry.
Yeah.
They can't wash their clothes.
Or they don't even want to.
Or that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you're going to notice a lot of really good things.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're pretty lucky. All right, so the next one is don't let resentment build. If something's bothering you, say it early and kindly. Don't let it fester. Like little annoyances grow fast when no one talks about them.
That's so true. That's true. And finally, don't forget this is temporary, or sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Some of the most famous people stayed living with their parents even after success.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I looked it up. And Elvis Presley. He actually moved his parents into Graceland with him.
Oh, that's neat.
So, they're prioritizing family, loyalty, financial stability sometimes, or even cultural traditions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's nothing new. This has happened before.
Absolutely. And we're just assuming everybody's getting along, too. This won't work in every single situation.
No, you're right.
Right?
You're right. So with the right mindset, though, it can actually be a really good, So with the right mindset, though, it can actually be a really meaningful one.
That's so
the
true.
time that you spend together.
A very positive time, yeah. So let's have less control and more communications. There's the magic.
Yes. So if your kids are back home, or they might be soon, you're not alone, and be thankful. With communication, respect, and a little flexibility, it adds comfort and alleviates stress. When everyone feels heard, respected, and involved, it just works better, and makes for a great environment, a great lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we hope you feel heard, supported, and empowered. We know you do your best. And please remember that you're not alone. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to us at askmomstoday@gmail.com or leave a comment below. Or you can listen to us, too, on Hunters Bay Radio 88.7 on the dial or www.muskokaradio.com. And remember, again, you're not alone.
Nope. You've got this.